It's been a while. So, I guess I should say,
brothers and sisters, we come here today to confess our sins, because we are not our sins. We are above them. We are above them. Can I get a amen? Can I get a amen in the chat, brothers and sisters?
hey, Women 3E. Hi. First of all, welcome to the stream. It's been quite some time, so I know for some of you this is your first confession stream, and the others you've probably been like, man, it's been a long-ass time since Crochy's done one of these. So, let us get into it. Hello, Vanta and crew. I know I'm so wrong for what I'm about to say, but I gotta get it out because I've never had anyone to tell. So when I was like 14, maybe 15, I started dating this girl, and we were together for about 2 years. I really should have gotten out of this relationship way sooner because frankly, she was evil as hell. I was young and stupid. She was several years older than me, but... Okay. I'm kind of already removing you from any responsibility of this scenario. Okay, but that's beside the point. Her being several years older than you is besides the point, but alright. When I finally freed myself and we broke up, we agreed to go no contact to the benefit of both of us. Time goes on, whatever, and of course, because I'm just so awesome and goated, I did get the I miss you text, but I shut it down because I was smart for once. More time goes on. I know what's wrong, so I message her. I know what's wrong with me. Nothing's wrong with you! You're 15! But unfortunately it gets worse. So I message her and I apologize for how mean I was during our last conversation. I really wasn't, but you know, you're also 15. And I said I would be down to be friends again, and she agreed. I didn't tell anyone in my life that I was talking to her again because I knew they'd chew me out for it and I didn't want to hear it. Everything was fine and we were getting along super well, but the guilt was eating me alive so bad. So one day I just ghosted her, deleted all my messages, we were talking on Discord, and then blocked her. Unfortunately, she pretended to make a TikTok about it. She made a TikTok?
Am I the asshole for flirting with 19-year-old girls and defending myself when being called a predator?
Which my friend saw and was in the comments saying she was crazy and I would never do that. And I deadass just went with it because I felt so guilty for talking to her in the first place. It's been like 2 years since this happened. So you're still not even of age, girl! And I still feel bad about it. I'm sure she hates my guts. Who cares? She's got her own crime to think about. She's got to answer to the police. She was again evil as hell, but I won't get into that anyway. Maybe I don't feel that bad. Women love women relationships are crazy, huh? Confession over. Dog, the only one that needs to confess is the older woman in this relationship. She's got some major confessing to do. Bruh. Jesus. Wow, what a banger to start off with. Holy. I once sharded in an IKEA, but I was like 6 years old, so you can't really blame me. I mean, yeah, I can't. Let's see, sorry, to answer your question earlier, we started dating when I was in 8th grade. Going to freshman, and she was a junior. Oh, okay. All right, that makes me feel a bit better. I'm assuming you're talking about the one where she was several years older. All right. You still shouldn't feel bad, though, because you were 15. So, yeah. My confession, Father Vantacrow Bringer, is that I lied to my ex-boyfriend. Whenever he and I would do the bada bing, bada boom, the boom never happened. Oh. He would ask how many times I boomed, and I would lie and say 3 times.
I lied.
He had no game. His salami game was weak. On one hand, I'm like, yeah, you probably should have communicated that you weren't satisfied, and then maybe you could have worked through that together. But on the same end, how do you lie? Gonna get real NSFW for a second. She should be finishing first. Like, sometimes multiple times before you do. I don't understand. I don't really get it. How does it get past this guy? I don't get it. Okay, I had a guy the same way, same problem. Sigh. I'm sorry, Odessa, and thank you for 15 months, but yeah, praying for all you girlies out there. I, quote, charged my crystal, unquote, while watching one of your streams. What? I didn't intend to do that. I kind of just got bored and charged my crystal. Now your voice kind of makes my body tingle. Sounds like you've Pavloved yourself into tingling whenever I speak. So, there's not really much I can say to this besides...
Hope you're tingling right now. Thank you for watching.
My daddy issues are bad. Oh, we're off to a great start. There's this older man at my workplace, and he's low-key the only reason I'm still working there, and he's the only reason I haven't unalived myself yet. It's been tough, okay? Bro spends 0.03 milliseconds in my peripheral vision, and I am already wet. Okay, alright, we're not reading this. We're not reading this. Holy shit! I've grown unhealthily attached to your ASMR videos to the point where I listen to them every morning. It's a part of my daily routine. Not too crazy, right? Yeah, exactly, not too crazy. Recently, my boyfriend and I went on a date night, and as the night wrapped up, you know, it was bedding time. Long story short, I said your name instead of his. And I had to explain who Vanta was, etc., blah blah. And now he no longer wants me watching your channel.
My boyfriend got jealous of me watching VTubers and tried to make me jealous by texting other girls. And I told him, Vanta's probably bigger than you anyway.
No way. My only response to this is, we don't have to burn every bridge right away. Maybe you could introduce him to my channel, and he'll start watching me. And then when you guys are doing the devil's tango again, he'll accidentally say my name. And then you guys will be even. Just, you know, whatever ends up happening, please stay together. I don't want to destroy another relationship, okay? I'm begging you. Please figure something out. Talk, have a conversation. Or, boyfriend, whoever you are, get stronger. Make her never forget. Then she'll never say my name by accident again. Why does it always have to be like this? I've stolen at least 30 calico critter blind bags from multiple stores. I'm reformed now, but whenever I see a calico critter blind bag in the wild, a tiny part of my soul longs for one last swipe. Why the fuck do we keep confessing to crimes? Low-key poetic that a bunch of criminals would form a hero's fan base. There is something about that is quite interesting. One time I accidentally got the cops called because of noise complaint. I'm a rock vocalist, and they showed up, but they didn't write any tickets or anything because, quote, they knew my mom, unquote. And it was actually because my mom was screwing that cop. And most of the others. But the worst part is, she said she was dating one of the cops for 6 years, and it was okay. But my parents were divorced for 5 years. Look, I don't mean to say anything too awful. And your mom's a hoe? Badge bunny for real. Don't get any more noise complaints. Or do, then you can submit another confession. I have no fucking idea. So my confession crime is I catfished an adult, 18 and 19, when I was like 13.
What did he say?
In his defense, he ghosted when he found out my actual age. You're crazy for that! Guys, let's know less about each other. Dear Father Vanta, I don't know if it's just me, but ever since UQ Wilson and Nijisanjien's 8th Wave Krisis did his first handcam stream, I sometimes, a lot actually, go back and watch it and watch clips, especially his spinning the pin between his fingers, and imagine what they'd be like in... You get the rest. Seriously, a waterfall... Oh my god. I gotta tell Wilson. Sometimes I wish I wasn't a Vantacrew so that I could have a shot with you, dating you, not drinking alcohol, to clarify. I'm gonna be honest with you. You being a Vantacrew or not being a Vantacrew is not necessarily what's stopping you. It's me not going outside. You'll never see me. On some real shit though, most of my friends that like are in relationships are in like super long distance ones, you know? And I just don't know if I want to do that. I think that's the other reason why it's so difficult to like find somebody, because like I technically have to go outside. And I don't know if this is anybody else's experience with the internet and making friends. For some reason, all of my friends are across the fucking globe. I know all kinds of people all around the world. I'm Mr. Worldwide. Mr. Worldwide, why are you not bald? I have to start shooting Vantacrew. I have to start shooting them. Okay, this is a fucking doozy. Jesus. Okay, I was 17. I had a best friend who had gotten into a relationship for the first time. Context, me and her had been best friends since we were 5. When she started dating her BF, at first she managed to keep her love life separate from our friendship. However, as time went on, the two started to merge, almost to the point where I couldn't even grab a coffee between our classes without her BF being there. As a 17-year-old, I was pretty stupid and started to get extremely jealous. It reached a point where I was ready to try and ruin everything to get rid of him. I remembered that there was this teacher she used to have a crush on, but I hated him because he was a twat. So I decided to plan a fake affair between the friend and the teacher. I spent 2 whole nights writing fake love letters, One batch was from the teacher, and I hid them in my friend's locker, and the other batch was from the student, and hid them in the teacher's office when he was out on his lunch break, and also nicked the spare key to his office. A couple days later, we went on a school trip to a museum, and I took that chance to plant this key and a note saying, "Meet me in my office, your fave teacher," in my friend's school bag when we were on the bus. When we arrived at the trip and got to the museum entrance, all our bags were checked due to safety reasons. The security guard altered our head of year when they went through her bag and found the note and key. A few days later, an investigation occurs in school, because of course it does, where the assistant head teacher checks the key, and if it matches the teacher's office, it does. They found the letters in his office and her locker. However, the friend only gets suspended for a week, and the teacher is concluded to be innocent, as it was a pretty prestigious school, and the whole thing was written off as an elaborate prank. My best friend's BF broke up with her though, and she never knew I planned the whole thing so she could quit spending all her time with him. We're still friends. We went out for burritos the other day, actually. By the way, Vanta, love you and take care of yourself. You can't just end the fucking message like that. You can't just say, by the way, Vanta, love you and take care of yourself. You can't fucking say that. You're fucking diabolical. You're a monster. You're actually crazy. Did you confess afterwards? Like, my God. Homegirl really said she won't break up with her boyfriend, so fine. I'll do it myself. You better fucking hope she doesn't watch this stream. Because this is you didn't say any names. But this is a very specific scenario. Confession, at the end of August, I was sent an email from a Forbes director asking me to fill out a form for Forbes 30 Under 30. What? A selected group of people who have had noteworthy achievements in a category. I was recommended under education. I recently learned that if I had written back and filled out the form, I had a very high chance of being selected. I also would have been the second youngest candidate. Hello? Perhaps you've picked up on this, but I did not fill out the form. In fact, I did not even write back until this week. Obviously, I missed the opportunity completely, and I deeply regret it. Can you please tell me to lock the fuck in? Thank you. Girl! Lock the fuck in! I don't know if I want to continue my 5-year relationship with my boyfriend. I've been the one taking care of the finances for the past 4 years. He hasn't been able to find a job. I want to do fun things, classes and courses, but since I'm a freelancer, I don't have any extra money. To which he responds, just do it. Use your savings. My patience is running out. Girl, you have the patience of Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Leave. I personally just and you can do whatever you want. Like, I don't think I would want to live with somebody before like being like full on married to them. But I'm also the type of person where like I put all my cards on the table, because I know a lot of people out there, and this is a very normal like line of thinking, and I totally get it. A lot of people are just like, well, you want to test drive the relationship, you know, you don't want to marry somebody and then you find out that, you know, they have a lot of problems with living together with them. And I get that, but like personally, I'm like, any issues that you potentially would encounter in the relationship, you can figure out before living with them. You just have to ask the right questions. It's very important to ask the right questions and do it nicely too. Exactly! Please pee on me, Finana and Elira. Exactly! Ask the right questions. Like, if you really like being peed on, you make sure you say that early so that they know what you're into. In your case, you guys just break it off, and unfortunately, you dumped a bunch of money into this relationship for the past 5 years. But you know what you can do? You can stop it now. So do it. Leave. Praying for these girls out here, dog. Praying for these women. A boy that was in love with me since high school asked me out and said yes and pretended to be in love with him. And I pretended to be in love with him for 3 months before breaking up with him over text, just so I could check being in love off my bucket list. Girl, uncheck that shit off your bucket list. You were not fucking in love. What are you talking about? That poor boy. You really made me defend a man. I can't believe this shit. This is pretty boring, but at work, I use you as my off-work topic in the break room while everyone else talks about their kids and mortgages. It's extra funny because no one knows you're a VTuber, so I'll say things like, yeah, Vanta did something really funny last night, or he kept me up again. I think I've even used you as an excuse to get out of work parties so much now that coworkers occasionally ask me how you're doing, and I'm just like, he's great. I'm convinced they think you're part of my social circle. I don't know, dog. We fucking live together, according to them.
And they were roommates.
Oh my god, they were roommates.
Here's a recording you can use. Hey everybody, it's me, Vanta. Don't mind the choir in the back, I'm just at church. Vanta, this isn't really my confession, but rather my dad's. He sees me watching you from time to time, and he thinks you're really sexy. Really? He also started showing you to his coworkers at his job. Old guys like you. So it's not just moms? I introduced you to one of my friends. We'll call her Z. She is deeply in love with you, LOL, and will watch your streams, but is too scared to say anything. When I'm on call with her and I decide to watch your streams with her, I can hear her. I am very scared. Help me. I really don't know what to say. Good luck. Also, hi Z. Hope you're having fun. Forgive me, Lord Vantacrow Bringer, for I have sinned. I am now an intern teacher standing before innocent students, pretending to explain the lesson with a calm and responsible tone. But beneath my composed exterior, I secretly wear my AirPods. Not for music, not for podcasts. I listen to your live stream while I teach. I nod seriously as if discussing learning objectives, while your voice echoes in my ear, testing my faith, my professionalism, and my self-control. I'm truly sorry, but if quietly supporting you during class is a sin, then I will accept my penance and continue listening. Amen. This is a real fucking fan. It's one thing to be at a desk job and to have my stream on while you're working, but you're listening to me actively while teaching? Dog, that's dedication. I couldn't imagine doing something like that. I haven't told you guys about this, but I mean, hell, you know, this is a confession stream, so I guess we're being open about a lot of stuff. So I've talked about like when I got my heart broken, you know, and I feel like it's been super ambiguous, but it's actually kind of the thing that like, it kind of destroyed my interest in anything going forward. And funnily enough, it was actually like more of a situationship type deal. But like basically one of the things that I did, like I think I told you guys that Elden Ring became a really important part of my life because I had like multiple save files, multiple characters that were like fighting, that were on Millennia. So not only was I fighting Millennia over and over again, I was also playing music on Spotify. I was listening to music, and then I would also run like 2 or 3 videos in the background because I was trying my bestest to like quiet my brain. I did not want to hear any of my thoughts. It fucked me up bad. I had to go to therapy about it. It was really not good. Honestly, I kind of look at it as a positive, because who fucking knows? I may have not gotten into Niji. As a kid, I used to make my parents' life a living hell by going missing every day, but really, I'm just running off to the neighbor's house. But once I actually did almost get kidnapped, though. Wouldn't have been as fun to actually go missing. I was like 6 or something, and then my parents never let me out of the house, and now I watch VTubers. I'd almost say being kidnapped made me a VTuber fan. Average VTuber fan right here. Average Vantacrew right here. Forgive me, Croshi, for I have sinned. My dad entrusted me with money to invest in stocks, but I spent it all on merch. Is this the same person that was teaching classes? Like, the formatting is the same. That's awesome. That's awesome. But also, fuck, dude. You could have invested in stocks and then had more money to buy merch. Ever since I came across your videos, I can't help but to think how amazing you could be as my older brother. I'm a middle child and don't have an older brother, and ever since I was just a child, I've been dreaming of having one. Every time I watch your stream, I always thought that you give off older brother vibes, and since then I've been imagining scenarios about us being siblings. God, I feel like such a weirdo talking about this, but yeah, this is my confession. Well, I mean, I do have siblings, so I mean, you know, it makes sense. That's pretty cute, though. This is probably the cutest confession we've had all day. Let's keep this energy, okay? Let's keep this energy going into the next one. I slept with my ex-boyfriend's dad by accident. What the fuck? I draw a lot of sexy Vantacrow Bringer fan art, and I want to share to other fellow crew my sexy fan art. So, not in my brightest mind, I went to a regular photocopy printing shop to print my fan art out, but only after arriving in the shop that I realized I needed to show my sexy fan art for it to print it out. Luckily, I can just print it by myself, then pay money later. So I just stand in front of the printer to hope the print comes out faster. However, an uncle with his son came in to print some books, and he stood right where I am. It would be okay if he kept standing, but he did not. He started to tiptoe to look right at my printer, while one after another sexy Vantacrow Bringer fan art being printed in my horror. I try to cover it, but since I print all of my sexy fan art in one go, it just keeps printing out. At this point, I've given up covering up, so I just let it to destiny to decide. I'm sorry, Uncle. Uncle has seen all kinds of sexy, I guess, since he kept tiptoeing to see. Then he turned to me and asked, "Did you draw it?" I said yes, and then he nodded and said it's beautiful, and then just walked out like it was nothing. At the end of the day, I'm happy Uncle liked it, but I will never print sexy Vantacrow Bringer fan art at Photoshop printing shop ever again. I've done the deed to at least one of your VODs before. Blame YouTube autoplay. What the fuck, man? Or girl, or whatever. Which VOD was it? Like, that's worse than... Like, that's worse than that shit. Imagine you're just going down on your partner, and then suddenly you just hear like, fuck this boss, fuck, I hate this boss, I can't believe it. I'm so depressed, I'm so sad. I'll just die. Maybe I'll just die. What if I just kill myself? Is this not what you wanted from the one that accidentally called out your name during? If you're right, the background noise, problem solved, right? True. Relationship saved.